How's it going, YouTube? This is Stranger JI, and today we have the first PSA return of 2024. This is, number 25 or 26 on the list. These were submitted, first or second week of January, and they just returned a couple days ago. I said it in one of my last videos that PSA is cruising right now, so if you send your stuff in, be prepared to pay sooner than later, because it seems like, this is literally probably less than a month turnaround time, give or take a few days, and easily less than 30 business days. So yeah, they're cranking things out. So if you're submitting, be prepared. You are going to end up having to pay sooner than later. They're moving and grooving. I guess they're not getting quite as much volume right now. So I don't know what that means exactly. You would think that means that obviously they're not getting as many cards, so maybe not as many graded cards hitting the market in the next couple months, or I really don't know. It's interesting. I would have thought things would be still getting filled up there, so maybe everybody's running out of cards. Yeah, good for me then. I am not running out of cards. But yeah, this is a full old back sub. Did really well overall, I feel like, on this. Had a couple big hitters. Like I've been doing the last couple of these, I'll pick as we go. Only PSA 10s, just to keep it different from every time that I do a video, in case I send the same cards, which does happen. So I'll pick my favorite PSA 10 from the submission, my top 3, and yeah, we'll leave those out. So let's get into this. This is gonna be fun. It's been a while since I did one of these videos. We're talking over a month. Ooh, nice swirl on that one to start. So, first up, we have Neo 2 Discovery Ursaring PSA 9. Oh man, look at that swirl. I know I've been getting better. I've been a little more strict with sending stuff in. So, I'm sure that helped. But, yeah, overall, this is a really good sub. We got the PSA 9 Mew Southern Islands Hollow. This is such a tough grade. If this would have hit a 10, that'd have been massive. So I'm really not surprised we got the 9, but it's still a really good grade for this. Put this down here. All right, we have Pichu Reverse Foil Promo from the Neo 2 Premium File. The Crazy Foiling PSA 9. And also the Entei from the same premium file. Nice swirl on this one. PSA 9. This is definitely an interesting hollow foil for the time. This is the first time they did this thing. I remember going to the card shops and seeing these in the cases in some places, and just kind of looked wild. You're like, oh my gosh, what is this? This isn't like Pokemon. Also, Southern Islands, we have the Togepi, PSA 8, also very tough grade. This looks like a pretty clean copy, just looks off-center. I'm surprised didn't get the 9. Got the 8, though. A little bit of whitening on this one. So, 8 looks fair. It's a good card, though. Southern Islands, Ladybug, PSA 7. This might be one of the lowest grades. I think there might have been well, there's actually a 6 up next. I think that these are the 2 lowest grades in the whole sub. I could be wrong, though. And then we got the Lickitung PSA 6. I'm not sure what happened to your boy here. Think we might put Lickitung aside for one of the Pokemon Laboratory videos to crack out, because I think it just makes sense. Because, yeah, I think that's what I'm just going to sit aside now. So we'll set this one aside, and then when it's time to do one of those videos, probably get another light card or two, then we'll crack him out in some mysterious way. This is actually pretty good. We got the Jigglypuff non-glossy singing thing. It's what was it? How do I become a Pokemon trainer or something? This is literally the first ever promo, along with the Ivy Pikachu. 96. That's, as far as regular TCG, that's about as old as you're gonna see. PSA 10 on this one. It's really big. It's kind of wild that this stuff's still out there to grade. It's very rare. It's very hard to get, but big grade on this one. This is the first 10 we've had. I'm going to put that aside. I don't know if that one's going to make the top 3, but for now I'm going to put it there just because, I don't know, it's just cool. Bulbasaur from the Bulbasaur deck, the VHS deck, PSA 9, the Mad Scientist Bulbasaur. Another Jigglypuff 10. We have the Squirtle deck 10. So this is the jungle artwork, but we have the Squirtle stamp and the number down here of its place in the deck. PSA 10 on this one. I'm sure Pop isn't super high on these, but it's just really cool to see this stuff like this. I don't know. I'm just feeling a certain way looking at these old cards right now, like from forever ago that are getting high grades. It's just really cool. We got the Venomoth Vending Series PSA 10. Vending is super cheap right now in like 9-10. If you're looking at picking up a graded set, now is probably the best time. I just can't see it lasting like that forever, but we'll see. We got the Tauros by Baba, PSA 9. Jinx, Vending Series 9. Beautiful artwork. We have the CD Promo Mew, PSA 7. It's good artwork. We got the Ponyta from Vending, PSA 8. Sandslash, this is the red-green gift set. I always talk about this. The easiest way to tell, you can probably see just from this compared to this. Yeah, you can see the gloss. Red-green gift set is non-glossy, even though it does have the vending stamp, and it also has no rarity symbol. That's how you tell the difference. Here's the big one. This is massive. This thing's like Pop 6 or Pop 7 in a PSA 10 from 1998. We got the Farfetch'd Koro Comics glossy promo. PSA 10 by Kamiya. Just absolutely fantastic card. This is easily, this one might take my top pick, and not just because it's so rare, tough to get. It is a fantastic artwork. It feels awesome to grade a copy of this in PSA 10. Like I said, again, all this time, and this thing is literally like Pop 6 or Pop 7 in PSA 10. So I'm going to list this thing super high in hopes probably nobody buys it, so that maybe at some point I can throw it in the collection. I don't know. I might even list it at like 2K. It might even be more than that, just because, again, Pop 6, Pop 7, that's just absolutely wild. But this is definitely one that I'm tempted to put in the collection, but if I could get that kind of money out of this, it just feels kind of selfish to keep something like this that I do like, but the money could go to other things, either personally or to the business, and it just feels, like I said, a little selfish to keep it. But man, what a great card. So we're throwing that down there with the Jigglypuff. Two just super tough cards to grade, super fantastic cards. We got the Diglett here. This one also from the Squirtle deck, PSA 10. These add kind of a little extra. I mean, it's the base set art, but it's kind of cool seeing the Squirtle stamp and having like the number down there. It kind of throws people off sometimes when they see them. We've got Abra from Vending, Series 1, PSA 9, great artwork. Jigglypuff, Southern Islands, PSA 9. Got the whole party back here. We got Weepinbell, Dodrio. Do a little zoom in on this one. Is anyone else in here? No, there isn't anyone else in here. Strange. Come on now, stop bobbling. There we go. All right, next up we have the Dunsparce Info Pack PSA 9. That's the thing. A lot of this stuff, even if it didn't hit 10, a lot of it hit 9. So, I mean, again, this was probably one of my best old back subs for a while, for sure. Great Dunsparce artwork from the Info Pack. We got the Hitmonchan 2000 movie promo, PSA 9. I have a ton of these and just have not been able to hit a 10. I'm sure at some point I will, hopefully soon. But, I mean, these aren't super expensive either, which is, again, kind of wild because they're so tough to grade. I don't know what the pop is on this, but I assume it can't be too high. We have the Machop from the Squirtle deck, PSA 10. Also just, reprint base artwork with the stamp and the number. Arcanine, CD promo, PSA 9. Here's a good one. This one's going in my top 3 for now. We have Slowbro, Vending Series 3, PSA 10. Awesome artwork by Nishida. As weird as it is, this doesn't really feel like a Nishida artwork to me. It's definitely not, in my mind, typical style, but I don't know, just the way the shell's drawn with the eyes. I don't know. I just think this is a great artwork. So that's going down here in the top 3 for now. Farfetch is number 1. We'll put Jigglypuff at 2, and we'll have Slowbro at 3. All right, that's only 25 cards. We still got 75 to go through, so sit back and relax. We have Crobat, Dark Crobat to be exact, PSA 10 from Neo 4 Destiny. Beautiful artwork. Honestly, I don't feel like the camera does this one justice. The moon just looks fantastic. This whole thing is just, I mean, it's a great card. Here's a cool one too. We got the Ho-Oh from Neo 3 Premium File, PSA 10. This one has slightly like a watered down feel for me just because they did do a reprint of this in the newer sets, but it's still a really great card. Imagine if this one would have got hollow. Oh, but that's an awesome card. Who did this artwork, actually? Oh, because I'm an idiot. Kasube. Yeah, the line work says it all. I kind of actually like that card more now. I know Kasube did it. All right, we got Houndour, Neo 2 Discovery. Oh, man, check that swirl out. Just that whole foil in general is wild. I love this card. PSA 8 on this one. We have the Kingdra, Neo 1 Genesis, PSA 9. Nice PSA 10 here. We have the Poliwrath from Neo 2 Discovery. I remember seeing this for the first time when I was younger, and I was, like, confused, like, you know, Poliwrath's a water type, like, why is he fighting, like, or ground or whatever, like, what's that all about? And then you kind of, like, realize as you get older, and, like, also the games kind of morphed that Poliwrath is kind of, like, part fighting, even though I don't think it's ever gotten a real dual type. I could be wrong there, but it obviously uses fighting moves. It's got arms, obviously it's using punch moves and whatnot, but it's pretty cool that it got I think it got a fighting type, actually. Fighting type in Golden Sky Silver Ocean. There's a fighting type Poliwrath. But, man, great card. PSA 10. This one is going to kick Jigglypuff out and also drop Slowbro down a notch here. We got the PSA 10 Neo 3 Entei from Revelation. Beautiful card. I always have loved the legendary cats, cats, whatever you want to call them, from the Neo 3. Just always been like my favorites. So we're kicking Jigglypuff out, and we are running with these top 3 for now. We got the Shelter, Vending Series 2, PSA 10. This is a great artwork. It's like one of those ones you kind of just stare at for a while, and the longer you stare, you're like, yeah, like, look at that Shelter. He's cool. We got Fearow, Vending Series 2, PSA 8. Geodude, definitely an interesting artwork here. This is from AI Korihara, or Al Korihara. Definitely somebody that hasn't done a ton of artwork, or that I don't recognize. Very unique style, I think you can tell. It's not like it's bad, it's just kind of weird. It'd be interesting to see, like, if they did any other artwork, and if they did, like, what it looked like. But nice PSA 10 on that one. We have the Doduo Vending Series PSA 10. Fantastic artwork by Kamiya. Just an overall good-looking card. And obviously it's a 10, so we are pleased. We got the Poliwhirl Vending Series 1, PSA 9. This is a Nishida artwork again, I don't know what it is. Like, it's like they use stock backgrounds with a character that she drew, but they don't feel, I don't know, they don't feel like Nishida. I don't know, it's just strange. We have Dark Ampharos, PSA 8. A lot going on in this one. Crazy foiling. I always really like that card. Oh, man. I forgot about this card. This card actually might take the top spot. So, we got Rattata, Vending Series 1, PSA 9. He is eating cheese. He looks like he's pretty fat. He looks like he's been stealing a lot of cheese, and he's eating good in the neighborhood for sure. Alright, I forgot that this was even in here. So, this is one of my favorite cards. I already have a copy of this in PSA 10 in my collection. Excuse me. And I'm thinking about keeping this one, because this one I actually graded myself. I'm debating. But we have the Light Arcanine from Neo 4 Destiny, PSA 10. this card is so gorgeous. Probably the best Arcanine of all time. And I said earlier, like, I didn't feel like those vending series felt like Nishida, and this is a Nishida. This one feels like a Nishida. This has the soft, kind of like elegant, like, I don't know. I can't even describe it, but I just know the style from like looking at it. But absolutely beautiful card. And that's going to take the number 1 spot. So we're going to slide these down. Slowbro is taking a back seat. I can't really not number 1 a card that I already have in my collection. Next up, we have the Snorlax Vending Series 1. This, well, first of all, it's PSA 8, but this one was from like a illustration contest. You can see by the hand-drawnness of it. But I wasn't aware of this until somebody that watched one of the videos made the comment. I think it's so abstract that you're focusing on the Snorlax, but this is like him actually blocking the path that you have to use the Pokeflute to clear in the game. And I never really knew that or thought about that. But there's the bridge, like there's your land crossing, and you're trying to get past and you can't. And like I was like, oh man, that makes sense. And it like just changed my whole perspective on this card. I thought it was good before. But that was like mind-blowing for me, for sure. So if you're still watching the videos and you're the person that mentioned that, like, good luck on that. That was huge. I didn't even notice that before. But yeah, that's awesome. All right, we have the Dark Tyranitar from Neo 4 Destiny 9. I think I've talked about this before. I don't know what it is about this card that I don't like, but like whenever I see this, I think it's like his belly's like super fat. This looks like a mouth, and these are like eyes and eyebrows, and it looks like the Kool-Aid Man to me. I don't know. That's just the vibe I get from it, and I don't, because of that, like I'm not really a huge fan of this one. Maybe you can't unsee that now. Maybe that ruined that card for you, and if so, I'm sorry, but that's just what I see when I look at that. We have Light Machamp, Neo 4 Destiny. This is by Miki Tanaka. It's got this super like happy like anime style, like, hey, really like this one. Dark Houndoom, Neo 4 Destiny. Wonderful card. Crazy artwork going on here for sure. Awesome by Himeno. We have Light Togetic or Togetic. Nice swirl there, nice orb. Beautiful card. PSA 9. Wigglytuff, Vending Series 1, 9. This is cool. Just kind of, again, this is a Nishida that just has a weird background and a Nishida drawing, and yeah. But it's a nice looking card. I'm not saying they're not nice looking cards. I'm just saying in general. They're just, they give me a weird vibe for Nishidas for sure. I know I've said Nishida like 90 times this video, but just in case. We have Porygon, Vending Series 1, PSA 10. This is by Kazuki. This is a really good one. This one reminds me, I think I've said it before in another video. I don't know what it is about this, but this reminds me of if you ever watched Futurama, in the episode where they go to a robot home planet where they kill all humans on sight, and like they're in like the back alleys, like dressed as robots, trying to get a package delivered. And like this base just kind of reminds me of the robot home planet. I don't know what it is about it, just that's the vibe it throws me. And obviously like Porygon's like super robot-y, like hand designed Pokemon. So all right, we have Entei, PSA 9 from the Neo 3 Premium file. Ooh, all right, I think this one's going to have to swap Entei out. I love this card. We got Light Dragonair, Neo 4, PSA 10. I mean, it really just doesn't get much better than this. This is by Nishida as well. Oh my gosh, dude, such a good card. I don't think it's a coincidence that like almost all the really good cards are by the same artist. Yeah, I mean, we're taking the Entei away, and now we have 2 Nishidas down here and a Komiya. All right, sorry, Entei. The non-holo rare beats you on that one. We have Dark Ursaring, PSA 9 from Neo 4 Destiny. And just keep in mind, like, these are both rares from the set. These aren't just, like, common uncommons. But I always thought this was a really good artwork, too. We have Sneasel, Japanese Neo 3 Premium File by Kazuki, PSA 9. And that puts us halfway through. I feel like we're going in, like, reverse here based on the subs. So I think I know we're starting off here with base set. I don't know where... I think we're going to end with a lot of that kind of stuff, but we'll see. This is pretty cool. We got the Nidoking PSA 10 from base. Whenever you can grade a base set card holo and PSA 10, it always feels good. It's your boy. Beautiful card. We have... It's funny. I remember sending these in and being like cringe. Like, I was like, man, even with these grade 10, like, it's like literally... For what they are, they're not even going to be worth that much. And if I grade at 9, it's like a loss immediately. But we did get the 10. So we got the Fossil Seadra PSA 10. It's just cool to see this stuff in 10 again. We got Lieutenant Surge's Pikachu. They put level 10 on this one because there's 2 Surge's Pikachu from this gym deck. And they both have different levels. And that's basically the way to tell them apart. But nice PSA 10 on this one. Did miss on this. We got the Giovanni's Magikarp, Gym 2, PSA 8. It's one thing getting a low grade on the holos and some of the rares or promos, but it is never great to get a super, well, so anything sub like 9 on common, uncommon stuff, because you're going to be lucky if you break even. We got Giovanni's Machamp, PSA 10. Got the little sparkle, or a little swirl there in the corner. This is a really good card. Nice Sugimori. We have Giovanni himself, the trainer, PSA 9. Really good one here. If this would have got a 10, I think this would have bumped out. This would have bumped out the light Dragonair. But we got the Rockets Mewtwo from Jim, PSA 9. Beautiful swirl on this. Fantastic foiling. Lieutenant Surge's Raichu, PSA 10. Love seeing this. This is a fun one. We have the Giovanni's Gyarados, PSA 9. Fantastic swirl on this one as well. I've been trying for so long. I don't think I've graded a 10 on this one or the Mewtwo yet, and I've tried this numerous times and haven't gotten them yet. But we did get the 9. This is a beautiful card. This is going to make somebody happy, whoever's home it goes to. Followed up by the Magikarp from Rocket, PSA 10. That's what we do like to see. Vintage Magikarp, PSA 10. We have Kabutops, PSA 9 from Fossil. Man, a lot of swirls on the holos in this one. It's kind of worked out. This is a great looking card, too. Kabutops is kind of underrated in my personal opinion. Dark Gyarados, Rocket Strikes, or not Rocket Strikes Back, Rocket Gang. Just in Rocket and Gang in general, not Rocket Gang Strikes Back. I don't know why I would have said that. It's not 2004 or 5 or whatever it was. But yeah, Dark Gyarados, PSA 8. We got Raichu from base set, PSA 9. Again, with a swirl on this one. Sheesh. Foiling on this is crazy. Great card. This is cool. I don't know why. I just think this one's cool. We got the Sabrina's Kadabra from her Yamabuki City Gym deck, PSA 10. Yeah, I don't know. It's just cool to grade stuff like this in 10 to me. Like, this is just, it's just a great Kadabra artwork. And obviously there's very few Kadabras from, like, what, 2001 to 2002 on. So, because of the whole Uri Geller lawsuit thing. But I'm not going to go into that. But if you guys take a look at that, he basically sued, got Pokemon scared. And at the time, I'm sure they didn't have the money they do now. And they didn't bring Kadabra back till this last year. So it's a little unfortunate, but is what it is. All right, we got Togepi, Koro Comics, Glossy promo. Just missed on this one. This would have been a big one as well. We got the PSA 9 in this one. Great looking card. Happiest boy right here. Typhlosion, Neo 1, Genesis. Fantastic swirl on this. It's almost like a double swirl. I think it is a double swirl. Yeah, double swirl looks like. It might be like a triple swirl. Unless these are like connected. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I'll let it up to you to decide. You guys are probably more of swirl experts than I am. But PSA 9 in this one, fantastic looking card. I know I've said that a million times this video, but there's really not much else to say about some of these cards. I mean, this stuff it's just fantastic. We got Misty Seadra, PSA 9. Man, what if they would have, like, done the trainers in, like, a holo, too? Oof, that would have popped. We got Steelix from Neo 1 Genesis, PSA 9. Very dark background, but I do remember getting super pumped because I really liked Steelix when I was a kid and pulling that card. We got Pichu from Neo 1 Genesis, PSA 8. Man, dude, these holos are popping. Jeesh. Another Koro we just missed on. We have the Erica's Dratini, PSA 9. Again, I'm not sure what the pop on stuff like this is, but if, you know, this is any indication, being like pop 6 or pop 7, like, I'm sure this is probably sub 20 in PSA 10 as well, but I could be wrong there. All right, we got the Brox Rhydon from his Navy City Gym deck, PSA 10. I think Rhydon kind of goes a little unnoticed, and I feel like underappreciated. Especially, like, I feel like Rhydon may have gained traction later on, but then when they gave him the evolution, he became, like, the middle evolution stepchild, and then, like, I don't know. I just don't think he gets the respect he deserves. He's a good Pokemon. So is Rhyhorn, and so is Rhyperior. We have Ampharos, Neo 1 Genesis, PSA 9. It almost looks more like a heart than a orb. I don't know. Maybe not a heart. I don't know what I'm going there. Maybe I'm feeling the Valentine's Day vibes right now, but that's what I'm seeing when I first, like, flicker it. We have Suicune from the Neo 3 Premium File, PSA 10. I'm actually get curious when I list these. I always check pop and list that in my listings. I'm curious. Being a premium file card, you would think this would be super high pop, because they were readily bought. It's not like this was pulled from a pack. You would buy the file to get them, and, like, they were obviously mass-produced. I'm curious if it's, like, over, like, 300-400, or if they just weren't graded that often, or I don't know. I'm curious. Curious to see what that'll be when I look it up. We got Hitmontop, Neo 2, PSA 9. Fantastic Kazuki artwork. We have the Feraligatr from the Premium File, PSA 8. Man, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like the lighting and the camera angle I have when I have these in front of the screen, but like I said, everything feels like it's popping right now, and it looks good. All right, we got the Hitmonchan from base set, PSA 9. Beautiful swirl on this one. Ninetales, base set, PSA 9. We have the Poliwrath, PSA 9. Magneton, PSA 9. Just completing the base set in PSA 9 here. Nice swirl on this one. Magikarp, PSA 10. Squirtle, PSA 10. Then we have, I lied to you, I thought that the 6, well, no, a 6 is the lowest grade, but there was 2 6s, which this one is, I completely expected it. We have Charmeleon base set, but this is no rarity symbol, so, like, that was just one of those things where a lot of times when I get no rarity stuff, especially, like, more popular Pokemon, I just send it in. It just seems to make sense to me. But we got the PSA 6 on the Charmeleon. We have the Clefable Jungle, PSA 9. Nice swirl on there. Is that another swirl down there? We doubling up swirls again? Or am I trying to see things that aren't there? That might be it too. We have Tentacool, missed on this one, PSA 9. It's always like such a gamble when you send stuff like this in. Again, you're not looking at much margin if you get a 10. I mean, the margin's high, I guess, because, I mean, realistically, these cards aren't expensive. But one wrong move, or in this case, grade, and I mean, you're probably not even gonna get your. Well, I'll get my grading feedback out of this. I don't think I'll get less than that, but still, it's definitely a gamble sending that kind of stuff in, which I think is why a lot of people don't do it as much. For me, if I see mint stuff from this era, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's an energy card or something. I'm sending it in. It's just how I am. But we got Electrode, Jungle, PSA 9. There we go. Base set 10 again. We have Machamp. This card will forever feel just watered down because of the way it was released in the starter decks in English. It's just always how this artwork's going to feel. I just don't feel like it gets the respect it deserves because of that. We have Mr. Mime, Jungle, PSA 9. Nidoqueen, Jungle, PSA 9. Beautiful card. Speaking of non-hollows, here we go. We hit the Cubone, Jungle, PSA 10. This is a really good looking card. Cubone's kind of an iconic, definitely like one of those Pokemon that has like somewhat of a cult following in Pokemon for sure. We have the Alakazam. I'm surprised they gave this a 9, and I'm surprised they didn't give it a 9 OC because of how off-center it is, because I'm sure this would have 10'd if it wasn't for that. So I'm surprised they did not give it the 9 OC, but I mean 9's just fine. Another no rarity, we have the Ivysaur no rarity, PSA 8. We sent both middle childs in here, the Charmeleon and the Ivysaur. Another nice 10, we have Clefairy base set 10. Clefairy. Iconic Pokemon as well. We have the Misty's Tentacruel from the Hanada City Gym deck, PSA 10. Getting tongue twisted here in the last little stack. Last little stack to go. We have Meowth, Korokoro Comics promo, PSA 8. I think a lot of people think this is from Rocket, but it's glossy. There's no rarity symbol. That's like the dead giveaway. We have Dark Machamp, PSA 9. Nice throw on this one. Dark Dug Trio, PSA 8. Crazy swirl on that. Now, see, I feel like I'm not losing my mind. Look at that. See, look. 1 swirl, 2 swirl. I don't think that's a swirl, but that looks like 2 swirls there to me. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's what it looks like to me. But this is a great artwork. It's funny enough, it's right. When I sent this sub in and did the video, this was the thumbnail screen, or the thumbnail for the video was the Dark Dug Trio, I'm pretty sure. So if you're wondering what this guy ended up, the face of that video, well, here you are, PSA 8. Ooh, there we go. Nice 10 on this one. We got the Rockets Zapdos. This is such a dark background that, again, I don't think this... You can't do this one justice on camera. I can see this in person. There's a swirl down here, and I see you can see it just slightly. But, yeah, this is a fantastic-looking card. A lot of hollow bleed on this one, too. You can... It's not like a shimmering hollow bleed, but you can see the dots everywhere. Crazy hollow bleed on this copy. We got 3 cards left, and I do not think these top three are going to get dethroned. No, they're not, because we don't even have a 10. Dark Vaporeon from Rocket, PSA 8. We have Raichu from Fossil, PSA 8. Beautiful card. And lastly, for this submission, we have the Dark Charmeleon from Rocket, PSA 9. So... our top 3 for this ended up being number 3 spot. We have the Light Dragonair, PSA 10 from Neo 4. Number 2 is this super low pop, fantastic Kamiya artwork, the Farfetch'd from Korokoro, PSA 10. And lastly, one of my favorite artworks, easily my favorite Arcanine of all time, and a card that I already have in my collection. We have the PSA 10 Neo 4 Destiny Light Arcanine. So yeah, those are my top 3 from this sub. Again, great overall old back sub return. I'm going to be sending a lot of stuff in, and I think it's going to be cranking back, so just be prepared. I'm sure that I honestly right now, I was always worried about not being able to make enough content, but I feel like I almost have too much content, and I don't want to do too many videos a week. I feel like 4 is almost like the max where I want to be. I don't really want to do more than that, because I don't want to bore you guys with the same stuff all the time, and you don't want to hear me talking all the time either. So just be prepared. This year just going to be a lot of content. It's always going to be there. So if I can make it, I'm going to make it, and I'm going to post eventually. So yeah, top 3 here. Great return overall. 0 complaints. And yeah, as always, like, subscribe, comment down below, or don't. But either way, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you.